The first compliment, "You have this way of making everything feel lighter when you're around," is powerful because it zeroes in on her unique presence and the subtle, positive energy she radiates without any effort at all. Unlike typical compliments that zero in on physical features like her smile, eyes, or style, this one elevates her to something far more profound. It tells her that simply being in the room with her changes the entire emotional temperature for the better. People around her feel less stressed, conversations flow more naturally, laughter comes easier, and heavy moments somehow lose their weight. She becomes the quiet source of relief in a world that's often overwhelming, and by noticing this out loud, you're acknowledging a gift she might not even fully realize she has. It makes her feel rare and irreplaceable. That, like her essence alone, is a form of comfort that others instinctively gravitate toward, and when delivered in a calm, sincere moment, it lingers with her because it speaks to the impact she has on people's inner state rather than just their eyes. The second compliment, "I love how your mind works," stands out because it directly celebrates her intellect, unique perspective, and mental processes in a way that feels deeply personal and rare. In a sea of routine praise focused on physical traits, her smile, hair, figure, or outfit, this one shifts the spotlight to something she has actively cultivated: her thoughts, reasoning, creativity, insights, and the distinctive way she connects ideas or approaches situations. When you say it right after she shares an opinion, explains something cleverly, solves a problem thoughtfully, or drops an unexpected observation, it shows you've been genuinely listening and engaging with her on a cerebral level rather than just skimming the surface. Women often receive endless comments on appearance, which can start to feel superficial or predictable over time, but hearing that someone is captivated by the inner workings of their brain validates their intelligence as genuinely attractive and exciting. It affirms that her mind excites you, sparks curiosity in you, and makes conversations with her stimulating and rewarding, not because she's smart in a generic sense, but because the specific patterns of her thinking feel fresh, sharp, insightful, or beautifully original to you. This kind of praise taps into a desire for recognition beyond looks. It makes her feel seen for the effort she's put into developing her viewpoints, her wit, her depth, or her unconventional logic, turning a simple interaction into proof that she's intellectually magnetic. Delivered with real enthusiasm in the moment, perhaps with a slight pause to let it sink in, steady eye contact, and no rush, it lands as authentic admiration rather than flattery, leaving her with a warm sense of being valued for who she is at her core, often making her replay the moment because it touches a part of her identity that's rarely highlighted so directly and sincerely. The third compliment, "There's something about you that just pulls me in, and I still can't figure out exactly what it is," works so irresistibly because it wraps her in an aura of genuine mystery and subtle fascination without ever feeling forced, rehearsed, or overly analytical. Instead of breaking her down into specific traits like her laugh, her style, her intelligence, or her beauty, which can sometimes come across as checklist, style flattery, this one keeps things beautifully vague and open-ended, implying that her entire presence creates an magnetic draw you can't quite name or pin down. That ambiguity is the magic. It turns her into an intriguing enigma you're actively captivated by, sparking her own curiosity about what invisible quality has such a powerful, almost inexplicable hold on you. Psychologically, it taps into the allure of the unknown. People are naturally drawn to puzzles they want to solve, and by framing her as one you're happily stumped by, you're inviting her to wonder about herself through your eyes, which keeps her mentally engaged and thinking about you long after the moment passes. It avoids the predictability of direct compliments that she might brush off or hear daily. This version feels fresh, personal, and a little dangerous in the best way because it suggests deeper, unspoken attraction without spelling it out, creating that delicious tension where she's left pleasantly unsettled in the sense of wanting to uncover more. When you deliver it with calm sincerity, Maybe after a shared glance, a quiet laugh, or a natural pause in conversation, paired with steady eye contact and no immediate follow-up explanation, it lands as authentic intrigue rather than a pickup line, making her feel uniquely compelling on a level most people never articulate. She starts replaying it, questioning what could be, which plants a seed of self-reflection mixed with excitement about how she affects you, turning a simple exchange into something that lingers and pulls her back toward you emotionally. The fourth compliment, I feel completely at ease with you, like I don't have to perform or pretend. It hits her on an extremely deep emotional level because it speaks directly to one of the things women crave most, but almost never hear expressed out loud: emotional safety and the freedom to be their real, unfiltered self. In most interactions, especially romantic or dating ones, both people are usually putting on at least a small performance, trying to say the right thing, look the right way, seem impressive, hide insecurities, control their image. When you tell her that around her that whole performance simply disappears, you're giving her something extraordinarily rare: the experience of being the one person who makes the mask feel unnecessary. You're telling her that her presence creates a space where you feel safe enough to drop all the posturing, the careful word choice, the slight tension most people carry, the need to prove anything. That single sentence communicates that she is trustworthy with your vulnerability, that she makes authenticity feel effortless instead of dangerous. Very few compliments reach this layer. Most stay on the surface. This one goes straight to the nervous system and says, with you I can finally exhale. With you I'm allowed to be human. It makes her feel powerful in the softest, most beautiful way, powerful because she's the rare exception who can unlock that level of relaxation and realness in you. When a woman hears this, she doesn't just feel flattered. She feels chosen on a soul level. She feels like she's providing something precious and almost no one else can give you. That feeling is addictive. Delivered quietly in a natural moment, with calm eye contact and zero rush to explain it away, it lands extremely deep and usually stays inside her for days, because you've just told her she's not only wanted, she's a safe place, and for most women that combination is almost impossible to resist. The fifth point, the true strength of these compliments lies in their authenticity and delivery, is what separates them from every memorized pickup line or generic flattery floating around. These words only become nearly irresistible when they come from a place of real, the noticed truth rather than something you rehearsed in the mirror or pulled from a list. The moment you say them, because you actually felt that lightness in the room when she walked in, because her way of thinking genuinely surprised and delighted you, because you're sincerely puzzled and pulled in by whatever it is about her, or because you caught yourself relaxing in a way you almost never do, that's when they stop being compliments and start becoming revelations. She can sense the difference instantly. Fake sincerity feels hollow, real observation feels electric. That's why the delivery matters so much. Speak them quietly, in the natural rhythm of the conversation, not as a dramatic announcement. Hold steady eye contact long enough for her to feel seen, but not so long it turns intense or awkward, just enough to show you mean it. Let a small, genuine half-smile or a subtle softening of your expression carry the warmth instead of over-explaining or rushing to fill the silence afterward. Don't chase a reaction. Don't fish for reciprocation. Don't immediately follow up with another compliment to keep the momentum going. The power is in the pause. Let the words land. Let them settle inside her. When there's no agenda behind them, no hidden expectation of a kiss, a number, or validation for yourself, she feels completely safe receiving them. That lack of ulterior motive is rare and magnetic. It tells her subconscious, this person isn't performing for me, they're just honestly affected by me. And that emotional honesty is what makes the compliment echo for days. She replays it not because the words were clever, but because they felt true, personal, and unforced proof that someone really paid attention to who she is when no one's watching, and chose to voice it without needing anything in return. That combination of sincerity, precise timing, calm presence, and zero pressure is what turns good compliments into unforgettable ones she can't shake. So, gentlemen, there you have it, 4 compliments that don't just flatter, they penetrate. They move past the surface and speak to the parts of her most people never notice, never name, never dare to voice. Use them sparingly. Use them only when they're true. Because the moment you start throwing them around like confetti, they lose their weight. But when they come from real observation, delivered in a quiet, unhurried moment with nothing but honest presence behind them, something shifts. She doesn't just hear nice words, she feels seen in a way that's rare enough to stay with her. She'll carry those sentences long after you've walked away. She'll replay them when she's alone, when she's doubting herself, when the world feels loud and shallow again. And in those quiet replays, a small but powerful truth settles in. Someone once looked at her, really looked, and liked what they saw beneath the layers. That's the kind of impact that lingers. That's the kind of a memory that turns attraction into something deeper. Not because the words were perfect, but because for one honest moment, you made her feel irreplaceable. Say them when they're real. Mean them when you say them. And then let the silence do the rest. Because the best compliments don't need an encore. They echo on their own.